Jetstream Aqua Massage, located in the Heritage Mall, is your answer for the relaxation you've been looking for. Our massage beds will help you with stress, anxiety, increase circulation, muscle tension, improve sleep, pain reduction, decrease muscle spasms, increase your range of motion, and help with the everyday aches and pains of life. And at only $1 per minute, we'll save you time and money. 20 minutes in one of our machines is equal to 1 hour of traditional massage. We have gift certificates available for the perfect stocking stuffers. All TENS units are on sale now, and don't forget your BioFreeze. Jetstream Aqua Massage. It's not just a massage, it's an experience.
You're listening to Driver Live from the Northwest Race Car Show, presented by Moxie Media Promotions and Jetstream Aqua Massage, live on Spreaker Radio. Another edition of Driver Live here at the Northwest Race Car Show, presented by Jetstream Aqua Massage and Moxie Media Promotions. Our next guest on Driver Live, Mr. Tracy Muse, the 2016 Willamette Speedway Hornet champion. Tracy, welcome to the show.
Hey, thank you, Corey.
It's good to have you. We were standing down by your car earlier and got to talking about some things, and your story, very, very interesting. It's not just about being a race car driver. It's we try to bring on Driver Live the personalities, and kind of the let the fans get to know the drivers. And one of the things I thought was really cool about you that I just learned, 23-year veteran of the U.S. Army in a combat division.
Yeah, well, it's a long 23 years.
Well, first and foremost, thank you for your service. It is much appreciated.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
It's kind of a big deal. We've talked a lot about veterans just here at the show, and it is a big deal for the freedoms and liberties that we have here in our nation. And you put your time in, and now you're kind of having fun with the Hornet car at Willamette, and won. I think you had, I want to say 6 wins, or was it 5 last year?
7.
I knew that. I just wanted to make sure that you did.
Actually, for the season, I had 10. It was 7 at Willamette,
right.
And I did run in the indoor up in Salem.
That's right. That's right, on the indoor track.
Yeah.
And
wow.
it's cool. A veteran.
They put those indoor.
Yeah, it's great racing up there.
In there.
Oh yeah, it's awesome.
Wow,
very cool. But what's cool? And it makes sense to me now. I mean, retired veteran, combat division. The number on his car, M16.
Now it's all appropriate.
I thought the M was for Muse. I just thought the M was for the last name.
I did too.
I did too.
But the camo numbers didn't give you a hint. I mean,
there were a lot of hints there, but
Dane
they went
Bramage.
right over.
Yeah,
right over our heads.
Bramage.
Well, he talks so fast that sometimes it's hard to keep up.
It is.
Yeah. So
it's true.
But no, when I got the car, it was yellow. So it was like, should I make it a Ducks car? Well, no.
Don't ever do that.
Too many people.
Don't ever do that.
And that cuts down on the,
fan base.
The support,
right.
fan base. So I thought, well, that's kind of like Army colors. Let's go with that.
Yeah, that's cool. It's cool. Well, he's got the gray camo for the numbers, the digital. It's pretty cool, and he's got the Wounded Warrior project on there. It's an awesome deal, and the little bumper sticker on the back. Have you read the bumper sticker on the back of his car? Cool. What's it say, Tracy?
Stay back 100 meters. And nobody listens to that. I don't get it. But,
veteran with
hopefully they're reading that during the race.
I don't know.
Typically last year they were.
After he lapped him.
Well, exactly.
Yeah.
He was always out front.
He was.
And you know who he always lapped?
I give up.
His son-in-law.
His son-in-law.
Hey,
he got fast at the end of the year, though.
The last race. That was my backup car. And so last year, I stuck him in that car. We hurried up and got it done. And the first few races were real difficult because we were trying to work out the bugs in it. But through the season, we got it going. And that last race, he was really hard to keep up with.
Yeah, he got pretty quick there at the end of the year, but the old man still handled business and got the championship and 7 wins. Wow.
But we built him a new car though. He's going to be running a Neon out there, a little Dodge Neon.
Let's hear the show.
21T.
Yep.
It's yellow as well, but so I guess you can consider us a team, kind of.
Well,
it just depends.
Big league now.
Willamette Speedway, baby.
Team.
Absolutely. Fastest Hornets in the West.
If somebody's really wanting to get a championship, they really need to have a backup plan, such as a backup car. So
So your backup car was actually. Let's talk about your championship because I mean, truly, it wasn't like you just came out and destroyed everybody. I mean, there was Ro Lavorne. She had, I think she had 5 wins in the season.
Yeah,
5,
she's fast.
Yeah, you guys had some great races last year. I mean, side by side at the finish line a couple times, and
their
really,
whole group was fast and coming
absolutely,
up.
yeah.
Yeah.
And you handled business quite a bit. I mean, you had your hands full a time or two with those guys, but it's kind of cool because the Hornet class is growing at Willamette. It kind of started off. It was kind of like, well, what's going to happen here? Then Ro brought her car out, and then you guys had the 2 cars, and the truck started coming out. And next thing you know, we had a pretty good field of cars.
Yeah,
and you were driving your tail off.
There was one race out there. I was actually the only one that showed up.
I remember that.
Everybody knows, I trophied that day.
That's right.
And I won all the races, and I still pushed it though.
Clean sweep.
Yeah,
And he,
yeah.
that's one thing. He could have just taken the points and walked out, but he
Right.
pushed it
Yeah,
to the limit. Now, this
Yeah.
is what's cool about this because a lot of people, and I didn't know this till about halfway through the season in a Trophy Dash interview, he drove almost the entire season with a bungee cord holding that car into high gear because he had a transmission issue.
Yeah.
I heard a lot of downshifting and
Well, no, I don't downshift, and I run third where most everybody runs second, and I run lower RPMs. A little hard for me to come off the corner, and that's where my downfall was. But we're working the issue. I don't know how it's going to react until we get out there next weekend for the practice.
well, it's not like you put a quick change in the rear end of those things.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like coming out in the indoor track for the first time, green, unproven car, completely, don't know what's going to happen. Not sure. I never raced on clay before. I did race back in the day, back in the 80s, street stocks and whatnot, but it was all on asphalt. So I've never been on the clay, and I thought, well, let's go for it, test and tune. And I dominated when I was out there in the indoor for a few times, and
I called
did
some of those
really
races.
well.
Yeah.
But man, that the indoor track really bangs up your car.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does. We were down there looking at his car earlier, the 3 of us, and remember the stance? I mean, you've seen how that. Let's talk about the stance on that ride because that thing is set up. It's leaning left.
Well, I run what the rules tell me to run, and the car is actually a ZX2 Escort SR, which stands for Street Racer. So from the factory, it's kind of like a Mustang Shelby. I mean, it came out with a few extra little parts, and so I'm running those struts on one side, which are lower, and I run the factory ZX2, which is same make, model, gear, struts on the other side. So I mean, I'm using the rules to guide me, and I'm staying within the rules, and I believe that's what everybody should do.
Absolutely.
I mean, that car just, the stance of it alone.
The attitude of that car.
It's easy enough to just take that car, go throw a roll cage in it,
Right.
and go out there and run. He's
He's-
obviously doing his homework.
He's done.
And
He's built a race car.
He's building himself an advantage,
Right.
over the
And
field.
I'll tell you, that car, it gets through the corners pretty darn good.
It does, and you can see he's having a good time every time he's out there on the track. It just
Oh man, some of the best racing
crowd
last
goes
year.
crazy over those Hornets too.
They just
It's amazing.
well to see something that they sound of them. They sound like they're doing 16,000 RPM.
Right.
Then you get a pack of them coming by, and it's like,
It's like who kicked the beehive?
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
This lady is telling you.
One of the funny things about last season was you just started off fast. I mean, you just came out and you were the guy to beat.
Well,
It took a little bit of time for everybody to catch up to you.
Yeah. Well, it took some time to figure out a big track like Willamette.
And that's with the Hornets. That's the thing about the Hornets, because anybody, you can go to the Bull Ring at Sunset. You can go to Cottage Grove. Car Counselor hides a lot of them. And those tracks really fit those cars better for racing because they are shorter. Now, Willamette is so big and long and wide, and the banking isn't as high. I mean, it's still got about 12, 14-degree banking. It's not super high, but the track is so long that you guys kind of tend to get, on long runs, get scattered out. Now, at the shorter tracks, that doesn't happen. So speed with these cars at Willamette is everything.
Yeah.
And you were the guy early in the season. I mean, all season long, but you kind of had a real big advantage early in the season, just dominated. So everybody spent their time chasing you in the points.
Well, I came out there and I finished every single race. I was there every single race. You know, if you want to win a championship, which I didn't have in my mind when I started, I was just, you know, it's a hobby for me. So.
Right.
You're serious about your fun.
Yeah,
That's what's called. He is. He takes it serious.
It's true. Yeah.
I'm something retentive is what everybody calls me. You know? So it's like
You can say that.
Yeah.
But it was kind of a neat thing to watch the rest of the field have to do their homework to catch up with you, and they kind of towards the end, about halfway on, people figured out what they were doing, and it tightened up the racing, especially with you and Roe and with Devin Traslavini, your son-in-law. The last couple of races, that dude was all over you. I mean, you guys went door handle to door handle a couple times, and for me, that was fun to watch, just knowing the situation that's your son-in-law. And
Yeah, there was one race I was right behind him, and you know, if the way it works is if you're a fast car, you start in the back. Okay, so it's inverted.
Right.
So, I was behind Devin, and apparently he didn't get as good a start as I did. So I had to
where this is going.
I kind of let him know I was there, and he doesn't let me forget that. I kind of pushed him hard,
kind of aggressively
on purpose.
It was kind of a little harder than what I anticipated, but you know, I thought he would pick up speed a little faster. But
shame on him.
Well, this is his first. Last year was his first year in a car ever.
Yeah.
So he did real well. You know, he had more car issues than he did driving issues, I think.
Well, I think he finished third in points, didn't he?
Mm-hmm. Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A good season. So it was definitely a good season for your team. I mean, to go 1-3 in points.
Well, at that last race, if we didn't have out of towners come by, he would have dominated that race.
Yeah.
He came in second, and I mean he was flying. We watched the video last night, actually.
Yeah.
Did
it show those big ruts down in 1 and 2?
Oh man, that was a rough track.
Let's talk about that because that track. I mean, it really Campos got turned upside down in turn 1 and 2 in the modified.
The weather leading up to that week had
it was
everything
horrible.
to do with
That's
that.
what it wasn't. Track
not
prep
on anybody.
It rained so hard the night before that track got so soft. There was nothing you can do. I mean,
Right.
it didn't matter how much track prep you put on it. That track was
And
just
they
going
tried
to be rough.
to fix it. It just doesn't get enough sun down there.
But now to be in a
at
little
that time
car
of
like you guys are in, front-wheel drive with
Top-
basically
and a-
factory suspension.
and a very top-heavy car,
Right.
compared to any of the tube chassis or purpose-built
with
race
factory
cars.
suspension.
Exactly.
We're talking factory. What's that like?
Well, most people have a lot of pushing problems with a front-wheel drive, of course, because of course, it's front-wheel drive.
Right.
So when you come into the corner, you can't kick out that back end like
you can't set the car.
I just come in as hard as I can, and being with my history with unsafe things
blowing
being
up
natural, I just
a way of life.
I just come in there as hot as I can, and that back end breaks loose, and I just point it in the direction I want to go and feather the just do what you can.
Just drive her in, catch it, and let her ride.
Let that front end pull it.
I love it.
I do too.
I leave my e-brake hooked up. It doesn't have the ratcheting mechanism, so
do you use the e-brake to set the car and turn it?
Well, hopefully not. But if I'm up in the marbles and the slick stuff up on the top end and it starts pointing towards the wall, I hit that e-brake just a little bit, and
just kind of
that would be considered a turning brake now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Speaking of the gear shift bungee cord situation I had half the season, that was my fault when I pulled the engine and transmission out and I stuck it back in, and apparently I didn't get it in perfectly. So it was a little bit off, so it was messing with my linkage. Mm-hmm. So I'd hit that rough stuff and it'd pop out of
and
gear.
we saw that a couple times, and then it quit doing it. So I just assumed he had the problem fixed, whatever it was.
Well, you did bungee cord,
and then he had to point it out in a Trophy Dash interview that we got the bungee cord. And I'm like, are you serious?
What I do is I'd slide the bungee cords, 2 of them, down on the shifter to where it wasn't holding so much, and I'd take off in second gear, at the start of the race, and as soon as I get halfway, I'd be slide it up, and then they'd throw a yellow, and I'd slide it back down.
See the look on his face. When he said,
disappointment.
Yellow.
The yellow.
That's a lot of work.
A little bit, but it's It's all kind of back to the military thing. It's muscle memory. You know, you focus on stuff, you get it in your brain.